She's essentially said her coach doesn't want her to play her game. And it's very clear that the Indiana Fever don't want Caitlin to be Caitlin.
I think that everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt and our offense was clicking. But now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she's.
Whoa, hold up.
Sophie Cunningham has finally broken her silence, and she's not holding back. The Indiana Fever Guard has just dropped a bombshell that's rocking the WNBA in a bold move. She's calling out head coach Stephanie White, accusing her of forcing Caitlin Clark to adapt to a rigid system instead of building the team around Clark's unique talents.
Stephanie White, you deserve the Dodo Bird of the Day award. Yeah, I said what I said, and it is what it is. How you gonna say in a post interview, you gonna say that you trying to reintegrate CC, my precious CC, into an offense? What? She's the superstar. That means you should be trying to integrate all the other players, not...
The truth is hard to ignore. Caitlin Clark is clearly frustrated. You can hear it in her interviews where she talks about being played out of position and forced to adapt in roles that don't fit her game. Why would any coach sideline the strengths of their star player and build around your best, not break them down? But that's not how Stephanie White sees it. Sophie Cunningham. She's not staying silent. She's pulling back the curtain on what's really happening inside. The Indiana Fever, and it's explosive. This showdown has been brewing for a while, and now it's finally here.
This is how you treat your prized possession? This is how you treat your cash cow? This is how you treat your savior? This is how you treat the young woman responsible for elevating this unbelievably rancid...
Sophie Cunningham didn't just speak, she dropped a bomb, grabbing the mic after practice. She tore through Stephanie White's polished PR script with the precision of a native. Seal and the force of a tornado tearing through a trailer park, while White continues to preach about integration and running slow-tempo sets. Sophie stared down the lens and practically declared, this team should revolve around Caitlin Clark, not force her to conform to some outdated Connecticut-style playbook.
Today, salute to Sophie Cunningham. Not only does she stand up for Caitlin Clark on the court, but she stands up for Caitlin Clark in the media as well. While Caitlin Clark gets pushed around, thrown to the floor during games, and teammates are standing there just looking, not doing anything, Sophie Cunningham will do something. While other players get a microphone put in front of them, doing their media interviews, while they regurgitate the same nonsense, the same word salad that Stephanie White lies says, Sophie Cunningham will say...
Sophie didn't just stand up for Caitlin Clark. She body slammed Stephanie White's entire coaching philosophy with her sense. Attitude and glare that said loud and clear, yeah, I said it. So what sparked this fiery takeover? Why? Does the WNBA suddenly feel like a group project spiraling out of control? Because Sophie's calling out what anyone with a basketball IQ above sea level already knows? Caitlin is the system. And everyone else is out here fumbling the manual.
Man, I think that everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Kate was hurt and our offense was clicking. But now we have to have a new offense when she...
Now we have to have a new offense. Translation, Stephanie White, that shit that you're trotting out there, that motion offense garbage that you're trotting out there ain't gonna fly with a generational talent like Caitlin Clark. She's that damn good.
When Kate was hurt and our offense was clicking, but now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game, and so we have to adjust.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe, because here comes the kicker that'll spin your head faster than a washing machine on steroids. In a post-game interview, Stephanie White herself admitted the obvious. The team performs best when Caitlin Clark has the ball, and she's the primary decision maker, and when the offense runs through her. Simple, right? But then in a twist that defies logic, strategy, and basic basketball instincts, White turns around, slows the tempo, sidelines Caitlin, and then acts surprised when the team falls apart. Make it make sense.
Caitlin Clark's return, in which, since this is a lady we're talking about, it looks like Stephanie White has spaded Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it. If it was a dude, I'd say neutered, but, you get my point. She has taken away Caitlin Clark's greatest asset, which is the creator and instigator of offense.
Sophie Cunningham said out loud what fans have been shouting from the rooftops. Give Caitlin the damn ball. Whatever offense the Fever are running right now clearly isn't working. Solution? Let Caitlin do what Caitlin does best. Big over. Fans aren't showing up in droves, dropping cash on overpriced merch, chanting like it's a revival because of some intricate 5-player scheme. They're here for one reason: Caitlin Clark. She is the system. Line up 5 traffic cones and Fever jerseys next to her, and the place would still sell out. Because let's be real, no one's buying tickets for backdoor cuts and screen assists. They're buying Caitlin. Period.
Stephanie White, you deserve the Dodo Bird of the Day award. How do you want my precious Cece to play defense every possession? Full out? Ain't no way. I played ball. Ain't nobody playing defense every possession unless you just great at defense and that's your job. You hear me? Don't you know she is an offensive player? You hear me? She scores. She facilitates. So she have to control and reserve her energy when it matters the most.
Sophie Cunningham is making one thing painfully clear. Caitlin Clark isn't being valued the way a generational talent should be. And here's where things go off the rails. Aari McDonald is being tapped to run point. That's right. While the player who shattered college attendance records is stuck in the corner, the reserve guard is bringing the ball up the floor. Caitlin's not getting touches, and it's starting to show. Multiple times, cameras have caught her visibly frustrated, throwing her arms up when teammates like Natasha Howard ignore her wide open and don't return the ball. These moments go viral instantly, sparking debates about her body language and the team's chemistry. But this isn't just basketball anymore. It's basketball theater, and Caitlin Clark is the headline act, the director, and the one tearing tickets at the door.
It puts out a lineup yesterday. Aari McDonald starting at point. Kelsey Mitchell's at shooting guard. Caitlin Clark's at small forward. And I'm like, what is going on? Are we trying smaller lineups? I guess, okay, but are we doing a point forward situation? Is that what we're doing? We're doing a LeBron James point forward. No, the hell we ain't. We ain't. We're just running the same old, I want to say same old offense, but I don't know what that offense is.
In her post-practice interview, Sophie Cunningham delivered the brutal truth no one wanted to hear, but everyone needed to. She said, I think everyone saw that we kind of got some flow when Caitlin was hurt and our offense was clicking. But now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game. Instead of designing a system around a generational phenom, it feels like the team's trying to squeeze her in like she's a mild disruption, not a once-in-a-decade game changer. Caitlin isn't a side character. She's not a developmental pet project. She's the blueprint, the main event. The pyrotechnic finale before the arena lights go dark then. Sophie dropped another bomb. Players are on their own islands. What is this? A tropical cruise? Or a professional basketball team? The Indiana Fever are starting to look less like a roster and more like Survivor. WNBA edition. Their trust is gone. Chemistry is a bedtime story, and everyone's too busy. Paddling solo to realize the boat's already halfway underwater.
I think all of us just want it now. We know what the potential of this team can be, but we can't think about that. You really have to take day to day and stuff that worked here, we need to carry it over to tomorrow's game. We have a lot of games coming up in I think like 7 days or whatnot, and so it's mentally making sure that we're good. It's physically making sure we're getting recovery, making sure we're taking care of our bodies off the court, but we're trying to figure it out, and I think you guys see it. I think we're all a little frustrated. We're trying to figure out what's clicking, what's not clicking, what works for us defensively, but at the end of the day, I think what we can hang our hat on is not getting outworked, making sure that we're the aggressors, making sure that we're getting boards, controlling what we can control. And I think we need.
Here's the plain truth, and it stings more than it should. The Indiana Fever have a superstar in Caitlin Clark, but they're using her like she's just another name on the roster. It's like owning a Ferrari and using it for grocery runs. Clark isn't just talented. She's a once-in-a-generation force who could redefine the future of the WNBA. But instead of unlocking that potential, the team has sidelined her not physically, but strategically. Night after night, we watch her drift on the perimeter while the offense runs off. Clunky sets through the post, only to end in a missed layup and another groan from the crowd. It's painful to watch, not just because it's inefficient, but because we know exactly what Clark is capable of when she's unleashed.
Clark, Aaliyah Boston, deadly connection, pick and roll, two-man game connection that has worked this whole season, gone. Poof, the one thing that was in existence that actually worked, that felt like a little bit of something offensive that worked, gone. Gone. Caitlin Clark has a horrible game in her return. The whole team is horrible. I mean, what have I said on reactions to games, folks? When you got a big three, 2 out of the big 3 have to show up and produce. All right?
We're 20 games into the season, and head coach Stephanie White is still at the whiteboard like she's lost in her own playbook. At this point, it's not about patience, it's about dysfunction. Plays don't resemble strategy. Look like a chaotic street act with no rhythm, no direction, and no sense of identity. Worst of all, White seems intent on shrinking Caitlin Clark's role, treating her like a background player instead of the generational talent she is. Every time she's pulled just as she's heating up, every time an open shot is passed. Over it, chips away at the magic she could be bringing to this team and the league. Caitlin Clark should be the centerpiece of this franchise. Instead, she's being smothered by a system that clearly has no clue what to do with a player like her. And if that doesn't change fast, the Fever are on the verge of wasting one of the most electrifying stars women's basketball has ever seen.
Look, Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White clearly like and respect one another, right? But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. And I am beginning to suspect more and more that there's a bit of a divide between the way that they see the game and the way that they think the Indiana Fever should play. You can just hear what they have to say and connect the dots a little bit.
Sophie knows the problem isn't the roster, it's the direction, the game plan, the system, if you can even call it that. Now, it's less basketball and more like a roulette wheel with a whistle. This team has talent. Plenty of it, but talent without structure is just chaos and sneakers. Can't stumble into chemistry. Can't fake synergy when no one's being given the time or trust to build it. The disconnect is deafening, louder than the national anthem. And Sophie's the only one bold enough to sing in tune with the dysfunction. What's happening in Indiana isn't strategy. It's a masterclass in confusion. Rookies are being weighed down with veteran responsibilities. Shooters are playing hot potato with ice-cold hands. And Sophie, she's right in the middle of that. Mess, flamethrower in hand, torching every ounce of nonsense with unapologetic truth.
I don't know if you noticed or heard about it, but during the game, Caitlin got honored as the WNBA Player of the Year in the ESPYs. Just what does it mean to have her impact so far? I mean, there are a lot of really good players in this league, and she got honored as the best player in the league by the ESPYs.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she continues to get new awards. She continues to break barriers. She continues to do things that we haven't seen before. I mean, you know, obviously you think about the Stewies MVPs of the league, and you know, championship winners, and Asia's MVPs of the league and championship winners, and of course Sue Bird, who's sitting, you know, in the building today. And you know, Caitlin is so fortunate, as well as all these guys.
Caitlin Clark has made her position crystal clear. During pregame media, she said it outright. I think we need to do a better job of getting me the ball in transition. Whether somebody is there or not, there's a fine balance of playing off the ball and also getting the ball in my hands. That's when I'm at my best. Everybody knows that. And yet Stephanie White seems determined to do the opposite, keeping Clark off the ball, asking her to set screens, chase open looks, and operate in a role that undercuts her biggest strength. White even cited the Pacers as a blueprint, saying, Caitlin should take cues from Tyrese Halliburton and learn to get others involved. Another subtle nudge toward a team-first model that buries what makes her special. But behind all the buzzwords and system talk, the issue is obvious. They're treating a generational talent like a role player. If Caitlin were on any other team, we'd be watching highlight reels every night, not emotional damage control and post-game pressers.
So right here, y'all see my precious CC. She getting her airtime, know what I'm saying? With the stud buds. And look, check this out. She said, oops, gotta go. Cause look who we see now. It's Jigsaw from the movie Saw. Stephanie White. She is a buzz killer. Golly, you hear me? Like, I don't understand, bruh. Like, you is 50, man. You need to go sit down somewhere. We trying to turn up and get lit, you hear me?
The wild part isn't what Sophie Cunningham is saying. It's that it still needs to be said. We're 20 games deep, and the head coach still looks like she's waiting on a how-to-coach Caitlin Clark starter pack to arrive in the mail. The offense has less flow than a busted water filter. It's not growth. That's a rinse and repeat cycle of maybe next time. And Sophie. She didn't show up to play nice, protect egos, and keep the good vibes only crowd company. She's not campaigning for a league office team. She's cutting through the noise with HD clarity and the precision of a buzzsaw in a dollhouse. Sophie Cunningham has blown the lid off the dysfunction. It's called out the coaching and spotlighted the chaos that's smothering the most electrifying talent in women's basketball. The real question isn't if she's right. It's whether anyone in charge is finally ready to listen and do something before it's too late.